Hey team, wanted to answer a question. People keep asking me about where do I buy my dinar, and to be honest, I've gotten lots of dinar off of eBay, and so I'm gonna show you now where those at. So let me go ahead and plug this in, and here we go. Okay, so here is the website that I've used. One of the first times I've used it. These are pictures of the dinar, and the seller's called. The first one is called Value Delivered. And if you click on, or if you type them and research them, they've been around since 2017. They have 100% positive feedback. I have took every single one of the dinar under a UV light, and I've checked the bills to make sure they're correct. I have worked in banking for several years, and I come from a family of banking, so it's hard to get past fake money. Past me, money has a certain feel to it, and especially me. I've traveled to many countries over the years, and even now, and so I'm used to dealing with foreign currency all the time. So it's legit. I will say that if you click on visit their store, it's going to take you to something that looks like this, and you'll say Dinar. So I've used them. I like them. They're called Value Delivered. The next one I used was one to get some some Zimbabwe currency. There's a high chance that one's going to be the one revaluated, in a first basket of currencies, from what I understand. And again, it could take several years. It could take a long time. It's already been like 20, 30 years. But when you start having governments of the world talking about these things, when you have politicians who are always caught with dinar, when they die, they find dinar on them. You see a lot of big name people have dinar. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. They again, dinar used to be the one of the most, or if not the most valued currency in the whole world. Took three United States dollars just to buy one dinar. And the world took that away just to stop them from going to war. They gave them a long list of things that needed to be done, and we're coming close to all those things being completed. Paying off their debt was one of those things. At the very end of those, some say there's a project to delete the zeros. There's rumors that can happen this year. There's a prophetic intel that it's going to happen sometime next year. I'm in the boat that it's going to happen sometime next year, but I wanted to give you guys, that to just be ready for when it happens, because when it happens, it is going to happen really quick. Some people say it's going to happen overnight, but others said that this hasn't been an overnight process. It's been years long process. And now, from what we understand, the governments are in Iraq telling their own citizens why it needs to happen. The president's on TV talking about these things. Their president, and so I think we're close. I think we are close. Tut Tut Kitty is the next one I use for the Zim, and their store looks something like this, called Indian Currencies. Indian Currencies, okay? And a Zim will look like this, and it's just crazy. You can say, I own $10 trillion. That's how bad their countries devalue. I've seen pictures where there's money in the streets because it's just worthless, and that's really what happens when they devalue a country's currency due to hyperinflation. Look out, America! We think, oh, it'll never happen to us. You look at Venezuela. Look what's happened to many countries over the years due to hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. You give that much power, printing power, and you remove yourself from a gold standard. What happens to the currency? There's no coming back from it unless you go back to a gold standard. And from what we understand in the future, that's going to happen. We're going to go back to a gold standard one day. That's my faith as well. Value delivered. Okay, so the next one was value. Uh, this one is called Iraqi dinar, and I believe it's from, which one I had, value delivered, and this one, Iraqi dinar. I think that's what it's called, Iraqi dinar, and it looks like this store with this logo, Iraqi dinar. So I took a screenshot of it, and here's a picture of something they have, like 100,000 Iraqi dinar, $25,000 notes. So there's going to be four of them in there. These are the 2018 serial numbers. Security features uncirculated. And you can get it for about 135 and 97 cents. Of course, you're going to pay taxes on that. Here's one that I bought from vitamin V1 Tamikmin Kin One. It's like basically vitamin King One, but the eyes are ones. He's 90.9% positive feedback. He's been around since 2002. He's in the United States, but I bought some. I bought some from him, and so you can take a look at some of his stuff that he has. Here's his store. And then the next one was tracking included. That's a funny one called tracking included. And you click on them, and their store is the one that looks like that. That's what it is. Tracking included. A weird name for that, but he's been around for, or they have been around for since 2018. So those are the ones that I have, and you can go on eBay, uh, type them in, have a look. If you were interested in where I've gotten my dinar, I haven't gotten scammed on Buy My Dinar. And I don't think dinar itself is a scam. I think it's just only a matter of time. I think what was a scam was when the whole world got together to remove them from power, because I already know there's a bunch of corruption in government. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. There's oil involved. When there's big billions of dollars, I mean, we're talking everything from big pharma on. When you have big money and big power, even disease turns into billion-dollar industries. I study a lot of health, and I know a lot of things like naturally, to get better from certain things we can't talk about on YouTube, unfortunately. Those things are all found in the earth. And anytime you have these big, you have really big money and wars. One thing we learned about war is that war is a huge moneymaker. It was what they used as a stimulus. And so when we finally entered the war on terror, it was the perfect war, because it was a way to keep yourself in war and keep war profiting, and using government packages to send billions of dollars and care packages, from certain administrations that dropped money from the ceiling. We won't name names. Obama. Oh, sorry, I got something in my throat. But you have war that either is pushing money or stealing money or robbing money from the people, and robbing gold and a lot of things like that that's happened over the past last 60 years. So read some history books, look through your history. Why did we devalue them? Was it really just to stop them from going to war? And when we did, why didn't we reinstate it right away? What was all the steps needed, all that stuff. There's some seemingly good reasons, and others that are like, hey, this is not right, because we're not just doing it to Iraq. We did it to Kuwait, we did it to Zimbabwe, we did it to a lot of places where we've sponsored devaluing their countries. And it's just wrong. It's governments have been doing that for a long time. And one day the people are going to find out about this stuff, but you'll see this way in the future, and you're going to look back at these days saying, wow, people were really robbed blind by their governments. And America, watch out. When you start getting having almost 60% of the money supply that's been printed in the whole United States, that's just been printed in the last 4 to 6 months. That's ridiculous. How do you have almost half of the money supply in America, if not more, right now? Because months ago it was like 40%, and it had been printed in just the last 6 months. People have no idea what's happening with our money inflation. What do you think that's going to cause to gold? What do you think is going to make it happen to gold? And we have prophetic intel that gold is going to be skyrocketing, and silver, but mostly gold, because of these things happening. So I have a little stockpile of silver. I have some dinar. When all this stuff comes to a head in the future, these things will be good retirement plans for you. But again, nothing you ever see in these videos is trading, investment, financial advice of any kind. All of this is just merely for entertainment, comedic, and educational purposes only. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video or tomorrow's dive class. I'll see you. Cue the outro.